Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to the Finding Freedom podcast. It's so wonderful to be with you today, and I would like to jump right in and return to a truth that has never failed. It always sets me free, and it is so simple, no matter what is coming up in life. Or in the mind, I should say, actually. It often appears as though things are externally presenting themselves, when in fact, everything is always an inside job. Of course, everything that I say is always simply a pointer. So, nothing that I can put into words is the ultimate truth, because the ultimate cannot be expressed in words. However, this pointer is no matter what we're dealing with in our quote lives, what challenges are coming our way, what is seemingly arising, coming back to presence is always the answer. Stated differently, as Jesus said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God within, and all else will be added unto you." And this is not what we typically do. Keyword do. We think we have to do something, and the natural reaction might be from ego rather than a response from the heart, from true nature. Instead, we operate from the conditioned mind. We are identified with the ego, the conditioned mind, the false mask of personhood, which is always telling us to do something. No, not just be. We must do something, or we must think about it and ruminate over whatever it is. But as I said, Jesus himself instructed, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God within. Then and only then, all else will be added unto you." Not seek ye first all else, because all else is not what we really want. Of course, we are what we seek, and that which we seek is seeking us. It's always a matter of transcending the mind, not getting lost in the web of the insanity of the mind. And this is not what is standard in our culture in the West. Transcending the mind means stepping free entirely into presence, true nature, silence, where there are no problems. In presence, it is astonishing that everything we thought was wrong is no longer there. The ego can never agree with this, so we know when we are in that mind frame of something is wrong, that we are identified with ego, because the ego, the false self, the personhood, it can only exist if problems exist. No problems, no ego. No personhood, no self, no problem. I think that somebody said that somewhere, and it's true. Love. Love is what we find in presence. It's the absence of separation. It's disidentification from the ego mind, from the monkey mind. Wisdom is there. It transcends knowledge. And the heart resonates with this truth. Listen more closely to the silence between my words than to the words themselves. The mind will never understand, because our freedom lies beyond the mind. Temporary ego satisfaction is not freedom. It's a short-lived ego hit. Our primary addiction is to ego. It wants to be fed, but it's a hungry ghost. And we can continue to play that game to no avail. It's only that when we are detached from the world of form, from the 10,000 things, as they say in Buddhism, which represent all that can be seen, heard, touched, remembered, all thoughts, the mind, in other words. And when we are detached from expectations, outcomes, anything in a certain way, this is not something we can do or try to do or attempt to do. It's something that happens naturally as a byproduct of presence. But when we experience this detachment, we see that we enjoy those 10,000 things for what they are. We don't seek fulfillment from them because anything outside of ourselves, it cannot deliver. Why? In presence, we are already fulfilled, and presence is our true nature. Peace is our true nature. It's who we are. Each and every one of us are fulfilled at our core, and that is what we are here to know. We will never find in the externals of the world what we will only find when we know ourselves, and that is why you see many examples of those who, quote, have it all. And it's never enough. Each acquisition, achievement, and it's on to the next. But this is not to say that we write the world off or that we become couch potatoes. In fact, in presence, we find our greatest potential, honestly, in every way. And it's not potential per se, it's the highest expression of ourselves, so that anything that comes from presence is beautiful. Right action, right speech, right fill in the blank. Great art comes from presence. Great music comes from presence. It's life living us. It's when we are in flow, when the ego is in control and it thinks it's doing everything. That's not a fun experience, and it doesn't fulfill us. It's when we lose ourselves, so to speak, that we find ourselves. We become nothing and everything. We let go of the illusion of control, the illusion of doership. And we don't take credit. So the real game is to embody truth, to embody the realization of who we are, not to disown the world. This is something that I had to realize because seemingly, this is a paradox, seemingly. The world of form and the formless, they are one and the same. Samsara is nirvana. Nirvana is samsara. Emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. We are nothing and everything. And in this state of equanimity, where we are no longer pulled from the thrill of victory to the agony of defeat, in that extreme emotional, turbulent, unconscious addiction to ego and being someone, having an identity, this is not throwing anything away. It's seeing with clarity, being conscious rather than unconscious. The personality will still play itself out. Because yes, we have been influenced by our history, our experiences, our families, where we were born, past lives, if that's something that you agree with, all of these infinite factors, and they will play themselves out regardless, as they always would have. So everything changes, and yet everything stays the same. As Ramana Maharshi said, our lives are scripted. No matter how hard we try to make something happen, if it wasn't destined, it won't take place. Conversely, no matter how little we do to make something happen, if it was destined, it will take place no matter what. This is freedom, being intimate with the unknown, letting life live us, surrendering. Is there free will? This is the place of pure joy. We are life. We are life. We don't have a life. We are all cells in the body of the Buddha. Take our own body, for example. There are millions of living organisms that make up our body. Millions of organisms, all living independently and symbiotically, akin to the entire universe. Where does our body end? It doesn't end where the skin ends or where the eyes and touch and feelings stop. Everything is an ecosystem, and we always hear a lot lately about the latest microbiome of sorts, and this whole universe is one big microbiome with layers of infinite variables and communities of sorts. And we don't need to analyze all of this or understand any of this, though. The guru is within, because the universe is represented by a simple grain of sand, a blade of grass, by you. You are the universe. And so when we find, coming back to the topic at the beginning, when we find that we are identified with the mind, the monkey mind, all of its problems of something wrong and not enough, it's when we're in that state, we're identified with the personhood, and the simple answer is coming back to presence. Let it go. Step out of the web of the mind. So how do we do that, you might ask? For me, it's simply remembering, coming back to the feeling of aliveness within the body. Take a deep breath and allow all of the thoughts to come and go like clouds in the sky, knowing it's all impermanent. We need not take anything seriously. This too shall pass. How true that is. And the so-called positives and negatives, we never know what anything is going to turn into or lead to. We really don't even know. And that, again, is an example of the truth of neutrality. The beauty of impermanence. Even those things that seem, oh my gosh, my life is over. Jayashrii, if I tell you my situation, there's no way I can just turn to presence and let it all go. I hear you. I get it. Trust me when I say identification with the monkey mind versus presence, there is no choice in which one will bring you peace. When we step into the presence that is who we are, it's the place of miracles. It's the kingdom of God within. There is no more empowering, more beautiful, more miraculous place of being than in the infinite with God. That's all there is. Miracles are all there are. We need not know how anything is going to turn out. We just surrender. I've talked a lot about meditation, and if coming back to presence isn't just an easy thing for you to do, definitely develop a meditation program. It's very simple. It does not need a secret mystical technique. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to receive guidance. However, simply sitting in silence with your spine tall for a set time on a regular basis, you will see the magic happen. We don't do meditation. Meditation happens to us. And we tune into source. And we see that we are not the doers. There's no little man or woman inside of our head that we can cut the brain open, and there's no one in there who can, oh, there she is, there he is. I mean, we can remove all the different parts of our body and change everything about ourselves. It does not touch who we are. We can have amnesia about our entire life and forget our names, our histories, our identities, our titles, our experiences, our friends, our nationalities, our labels. But who we truly are hasn't changed. All of these variables can change, and they do throughout our lives. I don't know about you, but so many aspects of who I thought I was have fallen away. They weren't who I am. Who you are is untouchable. It is peace itself. It never dies. It's never been born. It is so wise. It's pure love. It never becomes tarnished or upset about anything. And that's where we go and learn to stay. That becomes our foundation rather than being up in the head, lost in urgency, problem solving, distraction, noise. We surrender all of that. There is no deed, a doer thereof. And we surrender and rest in the heart, in the kingdom of God within. And it is truly astonishing how beautiful life can be, no matter what the mind has concocted. So I think that's enough for today. Please share your thoughts and let me know what your experiences are. Share your beautiful wisdom with all of us. Give this a like, a share, subscribe, if you so desire. And I send you love, light, and presence. Namaste.